Greetings, everyone. This is Michael W. Ford. Um, I want to say happy spring equinox for today, but for others, it goes through the 23rd. And we are in the season or beginning where mythologically the solar youth, the sun god, grows from youth through maturity. We see this cycle mirrored in nature, symbolic of nature, but also a time to reflect and focus on what has died and gone to death. There is also rebirth, renewal, invigoration in the earth, in nature. But this can also be in you as an individual, as an initiate, no matter what left-hand path practice or tradition you explore, be it Luciferian, be it traditional witchcraft, Wiccan, Sabbatic, it doesn't matter. Even as a Satanist, this is a time of reflection. Now, the mythology in Luciferianism concerning the solstice, if we look at the 21st, it's the day of the vernal equinox, wherein Ahriman enters creation at noon in the form of a serpent. Where does this come from? Did I make this up? No, I did not make this up. In the ancient Mazdean or Zoroastrian religious practices of ancient Persia and later in northern India, the mythology presented in the Greater Bundahishn, which is a Zoroastrian text, and most of these are dated in this type of writing from the 12th century or around that time in the medieval period. But these traditions go way, way back into perhaps even Bronze Age. So with that said, in the dualistic religion of Zoroastrianism, Ahura Mazda being the good god and Ahriman being the evil or dark god are two extreme opposites. Ahura Mazda is all good, created all good things, and Ahriman entered creation to counter that and to bring death and destruction. Now that is the kind of the mainstream, if you want to call it, Zoroastrian focus. In the Hellenistic period with syncretism, you see Ahriman being identified with Hades, the god of wealth and the underworld, and also rest and darkness and sorcery as well. A gatekeeper, if you will, a guardian of the threshold. We see his statues as the lion-headed god, commonly being recognized now based on inscriptions, especially in the UK, from statues in the Roman period set up in temples of Mithras. So the god Ahriman is indeed the adversary, and Luciferians don't celebrate the concept of Ahriman as the all-destroyer. Now, destruction has a great part in the cycle of nature, darkness as well, the anti-cosmic energies which are accessible in Yatukdano or witchcraft workings are truly can be horrific, but also can be renewing and invigorating if you have the will, and I mean this, and the strength and the intelligence, the cunning to attain balance in that, so that the darkness fuels your inner torch, your inner light, the Luciferian light, if you will, the black flame. So if we had, in the concept of Luciferianism, if you had Zoroastrianism and you had all good, I mean all bliss, heaven, whatever you want to call it, you would be basically mindless and have no purpose, in that things that are too extreme, they undo themselves. That would also counter the cycles of nature, predator versus prey, the eco-balance, if you will. Now, Ahriman represents the spirit that is of strength, of motivation, of checking and balancing the concepts of good. And not just in Luciferianism, good and evil. We don't ascribe to that because everything has a sense of balance and of direction. You don't want to find yourself believing, oh, I'm all good, or this person's all good because they're Christian, or there's a balance, and you have to live that balance and live that example. That is Luciferian in itself. Ahriman, entering in the form of a serpent or dragon in the Greater Bundahishn on the 21st at noon, I perform offerings, and the only kind of daytime offerings to Ahriman, by putting a little hair or human bone dust in the black flame or in a candle, and I pour libations to Ahriman, because that is entering in the sky in the form of the warlike serpent or dragon, is a symbol of strength in ancient Persian culture. The Parthians had the banner of the dragon representing their units of 1,000 horse archers in the Parthian army, and also in the Sasanian period as well. So the dragon was a symbol of strength, of warlike conquering, overcoming your enemies, whatever that is. So Ahriman in that form touches and then brings smoke to the flame and brings serpents and reptiles to the earth. This brings balance. What balance means is that you have to counter your impulses, balance your impulses in creative ways. So, in Luciferianism, you can use the night of the equinox, and sorry about the moving camera. I know it's annoying, but it's what I have to do right now. You have to balance and explore nature in a creative aspect now. Consider the concept of the witch's Sabbath, something that is in the Luciferian witchcraft tradition and derived from the Zoroastrian occultist Kenneth Grant's works, Austin Osman Spare, and goes back to ancient witchcraft of astral projection, dream projection, in going forth into the spirit journey, a type of lack of a generic term, a shamanistic type of experience. That's a part also that can be celebrated. And in the Klopothic tradition in Luciferianism, derived from medieval Klopothic or Kabbalistic writings, Lilith, as well as Nama, Agrat, Bat-Malat, and Makaleth, the four Luciferian queens of the Sabbat, are related to having power in the Sabbat on these nights. So to make offerings of incense and pour a libation of sorts and a candle to Lilith tonight is a great idea. So these are little things that you can do. Take stock of who you are and where you're at right now, even in today, with all of the things that are going on, and center yourself. And in centering yourself, make offerings to your daemon, to who you ascribe that spirit that guides you. If you don't even understand or care about the concept of the daemon, then look to yourself. What are you doing in your life? And are you enjoying your current path? Balance and have fun, indulge. Don't think you have to seek initiation every moment of the day. Take your time, enjoy life, but also strengthen and build yourself. And finally, I'm going to show you an altar cloth, which the Luciferian Apotheca, a company I co-own, is offering. This is from my work Droga, which is the Utuk Dana, or basic Ahrimanian sorcery, magic, Luciferian magic. And this sigil was created based on my specific requirements by an amazing artist named Kitty Salamosi some years back. And this sigil of Ahriman is something that Luciferian Apotheca creates now with a new vendor for their altar banners, which we have been undergoing that change from a vendor that we previously were unhappy with, and now we have a really solid one. So I will show you that now. Now this right here is the sigil of Ahriman. It comes in two colors, but this is the blood red color of a 24 by 24 inch printed altar cloth from my design. It has the Bonama Ahriman, which is in the name of Ahriman. It has the specified Pahlavi or Avestan writings of Angramanu or Ganomanu and Ahriman, as well as the eye representing Ahriman, which is the evil mind. We have the elements of Ahriman and the black sun above. This is something that is pretty inexpensive and is a deeply charged talisman or sigil of the adversary, which I've been using for quite a long time in my Ahrimanian Utukdano workings. So check it out. It's at the Luciferian Apotheca.